Hey, what's going on? It's Azura here. Today we're going to do a quick overview of the 4 new planes we got and what I think could be one of the best loadouts for each plane, so you're equipped to deal with all kinds of threats in the Pacific Theater. I don't normally fly planes in Battlefield. The last time I flew was in Battlefield 3. But since all of you want a quick plane guide to see what the best specializations are, I have tested a bunch, consulted with more experienced pilots, and hopefully help all of you out in selecting the best loadouts you can go for without testing all of the different things on your own. I also want to say that there are many loadouts options and there is no one-size-fits-all option, and experienced pilots can always make things work. The focus on this video is to give you a few options that you can't go wrong with for both planes on each faction, so you're prepared to deal with any threats coming your way. So we got 2 Corsairs, the F4U-1A and the 1C variants on the American side, and the Zero A6M2 and the A6M5 variants. While they are not really bombers, the F4U-1A and the A6M20 will be your ground support or bomber variants with massive attack power on the ground. The F4U-1C Corsair and the A6M50 will be your dogfighter with better machine guns and rockets against aircraft with improved handling. The 2 variants on each faction are quite similar, so I will talk about them at the same time. So let's start with the quote-unquote bomber variants, which are the F4U-1A or the blue Corsair, and the A6M20, which is a green one. Of course, you can change your paint scheme, but that's just for quick identification. These variants have insane firepower against ground units, whether it is infantry or tanks. Depending on your loadouts, you can effectively clear out a handful if not more enemies in one strafe. What I would recommend using when it comes to killing infantry would be to go with the 4x20mm high explosive rounds. Those have a massive blast radius and you can shoot into a group of enemies and take them out easily. This is especially useful against infantry on or around objectives, or the ones in the Higgins boats. It is not unusual that a quick strafe at them would get you 5 to 6 kills or even more. Here, take a look at a few examples of this. Then going to the middle for flue bone canopy on the Corsair and the fin barrels for the Zero. The Zero's option is probably going to be more useful in general, but for the people who like flying first person, the flue bone canopy can be a nice quality of life improvement. The reason to go this route is because you want to get either the 500-pound bombs or the incendiary bombs. I personally do not like the field repair upgrade just like that in tanks. I'd rather really take the health increase relative to fix the broken parts. This is very useful when you are fighting against infantry firing Fliegefäust at you and you are just trying to break away. Then the next option would be up to you depending on whether you want to use the 2x 500-pound bombs or the incendiary bombs. The 500-pound bombs are kind of your all-purpose general bomb. You can use it to kill infantry, but most importantly armored vehicles. The 500-pound bombs are capable of one-shotting tanks if you're accurate with them, and dropping them on vehicles while they are on land typically gives a better result than dropping onto, let's say, an LVT or Kami while they are still in the ocean. The blast radius and effectiveness of these bombs are not going to be as impressive as that of the incendiary bombs, which main focus would be to kill infantry. It can sort of light vehicles on fire, but that's really not the point. The main role of these incendiary bombs are to deal massive damage against group enemies attacking or defending an objective or at choke points around the cave's entrances on Iwo Jima. It can also block the area because the flames do last quite a bit, and you can really help your team block a lane, especially on breakthrough. Then the 5th option would be between improved resupply time for bombs or flares. I picked flares because of how effective they are at helping both your team and yourself as a pilot to identify group targets. What I usually do is to fly high over the front lines of the battle, drop 2 flares across the entire front, and then loop around and fire the HEs or to drop bombs. This is extremely useful in Pacific Storm when the storm rolls in and visibility is poor. The occasional lightnings do help, but you can't really rely on those now, can you? And to top it off, it also gives you massive points for both spotting and assist kills helping a squad out. Take a look at this clip where I dropped the flares, then killed an enemy Corsair, and then returned to the coastline to help with fighting off the beach assault with over 3,000 points from just one loop. Having improved resupply is fine if you like to drop a lot of bombs, but I don't think it is worth having over the ability to assist your team. As for the mines, I don't find them terribly useful. You can sort of cheese with this, but it is just no fun for anyone in general. And the last specialization is sort of up to you. I did pick improved control surfaces over air radar because it helps me in dogfighting and also with evading enemy planes. The air radar can be good if you kind of pick the right side tree with the 4x light machine gun and improved engine for some dogfighting capability while sacrificing some capability to kill ground units. Alright, let's move on to dogfighting variants like the F4U1C Corsair and the A6M50. They are the white ones, by the way. And once again, both are almost exactly the same in specialization tree, so I'll go over them together. Because I already have my ground attack craft set up, I decided to specialize these variants to be the best dogfighter. Especially if the enemy planes just keep coming at you while you're using the other variants, switch over this and you can claim this guy for your team. With this one, I recommend starting on the right side with the 6x heavy machine gun and manual supercharger. The 6x heavy machine gun rips plane apart so quickly, and are also decently effective as strafing infantry on the ground, especially when you're trying to level it up. The supercharger is amazing for getting a bit more power when climbing, and also help you close the gap to enemy planes. I use this a lot when my wingman is in trouble and I just have to speed over there to help them out. It also helps with going back and forth to the carrier or airstrip for resupplying rockets and bombs. The third one will be kind of up to you depending on whether you like to use smokescreen or have better protection on your wings. Smokescreen can be useful in close dogfighting if you deploy it at the right time and then change direction right when the enemy passes through the smoke, or if you are like me who are simply not good enough to pull this off consistently, having better wing durability is always welcome. The fourth specialization is a bit different on the two planes. Both can use the 8x small rockets or 2x big rockets. Both sort of deal roughly the same damage to ground vehicles if you land all of them. But the 8x is better for dogfighting as they are more forgiving if you miss. They are very effective at shooting planes. It deals a ton of damage even if you just land one. Here you can see that it deals decent damage to armored vehicles even if they are not designed for them. This is great since even this is not as strong as the bombs from the bomber variants, you can still have some tools to engage enemies on the ground other than your main guns. The difference between the two planes would be that the Corsair gets the glide bomb and the Zero gets the angled HE cannon. The HE cannons on the Zero is overall not as impressive as the rockets. Basically the crosshair just moves up and you're able to fly straight while firing at the plane flying above you. Perhaps it will be useful when there are actual bombers added to the Pacific, but you can also use this while dogfighting, and you are able to fire before lining up the shot completely for your main gun. But overall, I still prefer the rockets on my Zero. As for the Corsair, you can also choose the same, but why would you if you have the epic glide bomb? Actually, it's not that epic in terms of damage or in blast radius, even it does create a giant explosion. You can use it like the JDAM bomb in Battlefield 4. You can also dive bomb it, which is probably the most consistent way to get kills with it. Or you can use it like how its name suggests, glide it from really far away. That takes some time getting used to the drop, and the way you glide it to a spot you want it to land, the plane cannot have any roll or yaw movements. Any sort of that movement is going to send your bomb way off, especially if you drop it from hundreds of meters away. But the kills can be really satisfying once you do land one. If you do plan on gliding it from miles away, I do recommend picking stationary targets or objectives so you can have better chance that whatever you're aiming at are still there by the time the bomb lands. Anyway, the fifth specialization is also completely up to you. It depends on whether you are a team player in resupplying your troops, or you want to drop more glide bombs, then get the improved resupply, or a spotting skill, which I find much less useful than the tank counterparts. By the time I was able to spot something flying straight in, I already got Fliegefaust. Then the last specialization. I once again picked improved control surfaces, which also help with dogfighting, which is really what those two planes are all about. So just a quick recap, if I have to just pick one or two loadouts for each plane, I would go left, left, mid, right, right, mid for the bomber variants. There are the F4U1A Corsair and the A6M20. Or you can choose the 2x 500 pound bombs for killing tanks with a less effective anti-infantry capability. And for the dogfighter variants, I would go right, right, mid, mid, whatever, and then mid. For the Corsair, I did go with the glide bomb just because it is pretty fun to use. And that's it for the video. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, a thumbs down. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord channel. Links are down below. I would also appreciate it immensely if you decide to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notification. Otherwise, have a fantastic day and I will see you again soon.